It's a podcast called I Choose You. Ben, Evan, Jeremy, Andy, and you. Let the cooking begin. I choose you.
Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. Joining me this week, as always, is...
Woo, we're back! Your friend, Ben Montoya, on this show.
Ian Davis, the Oscar, the Grouch of this show.
Uh-oh.
You're goddamn right. And I never left, Evan Aubrey.
Whoa.
Ooh, oh no. In the spirit of I Choose You, I'm getting drink all over my keyboard. And what drink, might you ask, this week? Welcome
curious.
to LaCroix Boys, the podcast about cracking open and spilling LaCroix. I'm your host this week, Evan Aubrey, with Topo Chico Ranch Water.
Oh, does it taste like ranch?
No. This is not ranch dressing seltzer, fans. This is, in fact, everyone's favorite agave and real lime juice hard seltzer.
Sounds pretty good. How is it?
Yeah, it's delicious. This is like my drink of the summer. Like I have a friend who like makes this from scratch, and it's more dangerous when he makes it. But this, I can drink a case of these and feel nothing.
Isn't ranch water really just like tequila, ice, and lime with sparkling water, though? I mean, it's
yeah, and like a little bit of agave in it. Yeah, basically, it's real simple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this pretty much sums it up really well.
Nice.
Excellent.
Summer is here.
I mean,
It really
Memorial
is.
Day is this weekend. Going to a wedding, going rafting, gonna get wet and wild.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you got, Ian?
I have, this is my third limoncello of the day.
Oh,
Holy
shit.
crap.
He just pulled out an empty can to prove that it was a multiple LaCroix day.
It's one of those days.
What is
I kind of-
Monday?
I kind of hope that you would say that, and then you would move your hand across the desk, and there would just be like 50 LaCroix cans clattering to the ground.
We can't
Well,
see
if
it,
you
but
turn
your
off Ian's
entire
background.
floor is just empty LaCroix cans, and
Yeah.
you're like a cat trying to avoid them as you walk around your house.
I do have there are two empty ones on the table. I have the one I'm drinking. There is an empty one from like a few days ago on the ground next to
Oh
me.
my god.
what's wrong?
You should set up like a carnival stand, like where you just set up the cans and people could throw balls at them to knock them over.
That's kind of how I feel every day in the classroom, if I'm being honest.
You should do
Just
that
a
with your
pile of
students.
cans, and the kids are knocking me down.
Hey, Ian, only a few more weeks left, and then it's summer, baby.
Yep, I can't wait to go to school the day after Memorial Day.
Oh.
Boo, roasted.
Never ends.
Bastards.
What is okay for listeners at home? This is a very boring, nitty gritty New Mexico thing, but usually when school finishes up here, like it is in the city in Santa Fe. They graduated this week, so school's over. So do you have some extra days added on?
Yeah, it's supposed to be done this Wednesday, but our school district was attacked in a cyber manner.
Oh, that's right.
Scooby-Doo.
The Russians added more days to your school year.
Yeah.
Oh,
They did.
Damn.
They fucking hacked us. So it got 2 days, and then we actually got one real snow day.
Oh.
Yeah.
So instead of being done on this Wednesday,
That sucks.
yeah, it really blows.
Send a
That
strongly
does sound-
worded
can't
letter
believe-
to Vladimir Putin and say, "Listen, you,
Yeah.
I
Was
worked
it
my
the
ass
Russians?
off."
Yeah.
Country of origin unsure, but it was not in the United States.
That's
It
entirely.
wasn't foreign.
It is actually entirely possible to be like the Russians
Yeah.
or maybe like North Korea or something, where they just like send out a variety of like cyber attacks at places just to be annoying.
Was it because you clicked a link that you weren't
Yeah.
supposed to, Ian?
Yeah, you know,
You got an email and it said "hot girl in area," and it's like, really?
Oh, it was Ian. This is your favorite lunch lady.
Yes.
Here with some delicious food. And you're like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, man, I'm glad she sent an email about this.
all jokes aside, I can't tell you how many fucking phishing email trainings I've had to do.
Oh yeah,
And
my
we-
company sends out like fake ones that like
Yep.
just bait us to see if you
Oh,
click on them. And
whoa.
if you
Yeah.
report it spam, they're like, "Congratulations," and then confetti pops out.
I've
You got a cookie. Wow.
So like some spam emails I've gotten, I've just for fun, I've marked them as phishing just to like double fuck them over. But then I get an email from like tech support and they're like, actually, this is a spam email and not a phishing attempt.
Oh my God.
This is just regular garbage, not special garbage.
Yeah. I'm like, oh. Anyway, Jeremy, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking, I'm back in New Mexico, so I'm drinking a watermelon sandia cider. Which is all the cider, not all the cider, but it's the sandia cider they had at Trader Joe's when I went to Trader Joe's.
Nice.
Quasi LaCroix boys. I already finished these drinks because I went to Trader Joe's as soon as I got back from my trip, which we'll discuss later. But I was like, I want some different beverage from Trader Joe's. So I got Trader Joe's sparkling strawberry drink. And let me tell you, Trader Joe's sparkling strawberry drink is pretty good.
It sounds like it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it comes in fairly small cans because I guess strawberry drink is kind of like a hard thing to extract, I guess. But it was pretty delightful.
You know what drink I had at Trader Joe's that I was disappointed in was a sparkling iced tea with peach that I tried. And I was expecting it to be a little bit like, kind of close to a Snapple or like a Tazo, tea, but like sparkling. And I was excited, and you've talked about the sparkling like ahas,
Right.
and I was let down. Trader Joe's
Sparkling peach tea seems like a hard drink to fuck up. Like
it was just way too sweet. Like I wish that it was like more the peach flavor was more subtle.
It was like you went to Chick-fil-A and then like soda streamed it, and then
yeah, it's kind of like it kind of felt like I took. Like I was at a fountain and they had like brisk iced tea and they had like peach juice for some reason. And I got like way too much peach juice in my iced tea.
I have a beverage to talk about.
Oh, a new beverage?
Is it new beverage?
No.
Oh, for weeks we've been waiting.
I know.
Yeah.
Grace showed me one of her friends unironically posted a picture of herself drinking liquid death, which is just
liquid death.
Canned water,
right?
But it says "murder your thirst."
I've seen it in the store and I don't understand. Is it different than like water that you get in a bottle?
It's literally like mineral water. They make a sparkling and a regular version, and
but it's canned.
It's canned, and they're like, "Oh, we're cool."
Yeah, it's edgy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the can has sharp points on it. You could like cut your finger if you're not careful.
Yeah, you're like, I'm hydrating.
Yes.
I feel like it's kind of like sparkling water for like those guys that would have like the metal militia like stickers, on like their cars and whatnot. Like,
or I was thinking like it's the sparkling water they serve at like a My Chemical Romance show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Which I'm sure you guys are very excited that they're coming back.
I've heard.
Was not even aware.
So get your eyeliner ready because My Chem's coming back. But you mentioned the sparkling ahas.
Yeah.
And I want to say on my plane ride back from Europe, on the one that like the transatlantic flight, me and my mom were sitting next to another person in a row, and I got an aha, and then my mom got one, and then the person who was in between us, I was like, I also want that, and we depleted the person's aha supply.
Did you just keep pushing the call button, like, bring me one more or so?
more.
No, it's just that like I got it the first time, and then I got it the second time, and we both did it, and then like we don't have any more. And
on the whole flight?
Yeah, the entire transatlantic flight.
Yes. So American Airlines, you need to have more ahas on your flight.
They were probably stocking them up in first class. Let's be real.
That sounds like the start of like a new season of Lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
An endless plane ride where no one has ahas anymore.
The only reason why this plane crashed is because we got customer feedback that we needed more aha.
And drive this plane into the ground if you don't have more aha.
Well, I don't want to drink like 5 sodas. It's one of those things where it's like
I feel like on a plane is the moment where I'm like, oh, I am so allowed to have a Coke right now. Like I can have whatever soda I want, and it's not going to cost me a fucking dime. Fuck yeah. Give me that Coke. Give me that ginger ale.
On 2 of my flights, I had a Coke because it's like I rarely drink actual soda in my day-to-day life, and I was just like,
treat yourself.
I'll have a Coke item or Dr. Pepper. If you will. Oh, Dr. Pepper, keep me awake for this 8-hour flight.
Okay. This is real.
Okay, this is real.
Dr. Pepper limited edition berry.
Oh yes. I
Oh,
heard of
limited
this.
edition berry. I have not had. Is it like cherry Dr Pepper?
No, it's
No,
berry
it's
Dr. Pepper.
berry. Yeah,
Ew.
What kind of berry? Just
Berry.
berry.
Barry.
Barry
like,
on
Bill
HBO.
Hader. No.
I first learned of it because my kids had their final concert last week, and we had a little like in-class party. One of the kids brought a whole case of that.
Ooh. Oh. Really?
How was it?
Did he give you one?
He did. I didn't drink it then and there because that class does meet at 8 a.m.
You're like, well, here we
Start
go.
your day with what, like nice 400-calorie soda. That's how you
Dude,
get it
The
going.
kids brought in Dr. Pepper, Sprite, the special edition shit, Krispy Kreme, muffin.
Oh my
Like
God.
the kids were fucked. I'm like walking around with this tray of muffins. I'm like, come on, like I can't have these in my room. You got to eat them. And they're like, it's so much sugar, I can't. It was
It was
awesome.
like pouring Dr. Pepper down each other's tubas and like.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. I asked.
Okay.
I was like, is this as good as cherry Pepsi? And they're like, yes, it is. They're fucking wrong.
These
doesn't
kids
sound
know
good at
nothing.
all.
Not so fast, youths.
I guess, is a prune a berry, though? Is a prune technically a berry?
It's a fruit.
Right.
Isn't
Definitely
a prune a dried plum?
Yes. So Dr.
No.
Pepper is plum flavored, technically.
Oh, really?
Are
I thought it was
prunes
prune
not
juice.
their own?
A
thing?
prune is a dried plum. It's like a raisin to a grape.
Oh, okay. I see.
Got it.
So not berries.
Yeah.
No, but you could
Stone
add
fruit.
berry to it.
No one really knows what those 23 flavors are.
No.
I guess.
I think I misspoke. It is Pepsi, isn't it?
No,
What
they,
is
Dr.
Pepsi?
Pepper.
Oh, it's Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper
Yes.
berry.
I swear to God, they came out with a new flavor.
Is this Ian? Did anyone bring in the space flavored Coke?
No.
Space flavored.
Ben,
this
you know
one was
about the
dinosaur.
space flavored Coke, right?
I don't.
It's Coke, and it comes in like a like psychedelic can,
Oh.
and it's space flavored. Okay, it's Coca-Cola Starlight. I apologize.
Okay.
Oh, Ian, and it's not Dr. Pepper, just Dr. Pepper Berry. It's Dr. Pepper Dark
Dark
Berry.
berry.
Because the darker the berry.
The
Oh,
sweeter the
no.
juice.
Spider-Man Far From Home edition, apparently.
You get a Spider-Man themed Dr. Pepper. Was any of your drinks Spider-Man themed?
I thought they were like Jurassic Park themed.
They might be. Because they have to go through different movies because it's like Chris Pratt needs to stop dinosaurs with a delicious Dr. Pepper. I'm so excited when the Mario movie comes out and they have to do like tie-ins to like
Yes.
different things, and it's like Mario loves driving his Hyundai across.
Shit.
Speaking of old things coming back or new beverage, not new beverage, but new old food. Oh wow, what a segue! I'm going to Taco Bell some point this week
They get
because
that
the Mexican pizza is back.
Have you? Okay. Welcome to Taco Hell, the place where Evan and I bring Ben and Jeremy to talk about Taco Bell.
Welcome to the 9th ring of Taco Hell.
This is my
Um,
hell.
Have you had the those like the ranch
The nacho
steak?
fries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? I saw ads, but I didn't get to try them yet.
I've only had them once, and the first time I had them, I was intoxicated. So they were delicious. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a sober opinion of them, but I'm sure I'll order a Mexican pizza and some nacho fries just to
Oh.
like really circle the globe.
Is nacho fries just fries with nacho cheese?
Don't say just.
I mean, like,
So much more, Ben.
I'm
Imagine
trying
like
to think about what else it could be. That exists in other places.
They're
I'll-
not just cheese fries.
yeah, I'll give you what I interpret them to be from watching the ad, and then Evan can give us his drunk analysis. Imagine the thickest steak fries you've ever had. Swamped,
Oh, okay.
They're just basically a potato.
yeah, swamped in nacho cheese and ranch, and then beautifully sliced medium rare steak.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah,
That's
they were pretty like I was chewing on that fry for a long time. I enjoyed every chew that I had. Yeah, I definitely need to go back sober because yeah, I'm sure my flavor profile is a little skewed, but they were good. But yeah, I'll report back on Mexican pizza next week.
All right.
And that's been Taco Hell.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Well,
God.
I want to use Taco Bell as another segue. This is going to be a long episode, guys. Because the viewers at home might be aware that we backloaded some episodes, and that was because I was in España this past couple of weeks. And it was interesting to note that Taco Bell was the second most common fast food chain in Spain that I saw.
And they got Taco Bell cantinas too.
They do.
What was the first most popular?
Burger King. There's so many fucking Burger Kings everywhere, and more than McDonald's. It was just like every major city I went to had at least 2 Burger Kings, and I was
oh
like,
my God.
wow.
Okay, keep talking. This reminds me of something that I saw that I wanted to talk to you guys about, specifically about Burger King in Europe. So
Okay,
keep it on the docket.
This is all coming together.
Did you try Spanish Burger King?
No, look, Ian. I ate so much food, and it was always like just a restaurant, or I went on a food tour because I was a tourist, so I was doing. I'm sorry, Evan, I didn't go to a different country's Burger King.
You can't tell me. When I was in Spain for 2 weeks, there was one night where I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to a McDonald's and order a goddamn hamburger just to see what the deal. It had goat cheese on it.
Oh, that's fun.
Excellent.
I did have a nice jamon sandwich with goat cheese a couple of times. It was very nice. So Spain, it's the setting of the new Pokemon game, and let you tell me, I think I have all the insight needed for recipes and Pokemon themes. One, Spain is the largest producer of olive oil in the world. So we gotta increase the olive content on the podcast. Maybe there'll be an olive themed Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet.
I could see that with like a little olive plant, maybe that's like a little guy and he has like olives coming out of his hands or something.
Fingers.
Yeah.
And then it just evolves into a can of olives.
Olive oil. Oh, yeah. It evolves into olive oil.
All right. Gonna call it right now.
Okay.
It's called like Alive, but it's a ghost olive.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Alive. Is there a dash in between?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe like an apostrophe is thrown in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, maybe it's like kind of like a pseudo wudo type looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
All
But
right.
olives are a huge deal. Like you go to a restaurant, you just sit down and they slam down a thing of olives in front of you. And you just eat them. And I've got, not to be rude to the fine people of Spain, but I'm still not a big fan of olives. They're okay. They're better there than they are here. And I ate them when presented with a nice plate of olives, but not my favorite thing. Second
Not
thing,
even stuffed with a pimento?
sometimes. We didn't get very many. They weren't stuffed with anything. It was just like olives, and you just eat them. Yes, all of them had pit.
All of them.
All of them. Think about that.
I'll be honest, that's the way I eat them. Continue.
Yes. Secondly, tortillas. So,
makes sense.
Ben, Ian, when you hear a tortilla, what do you think of?
A circle.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yes. Because I found one to face in one. But here in the good old Americas, and I'm just saying like the entire like Americas, north, south, these continents here.
North, Latin, south,
yes.
all of it. Yeah.
Tortilla, it's a flatbread. It's it's flour or corn, and it's a flatbread. You make wraps out of it.
Are you saying that's not what they call it? That's not what it is in España?
No, in España, you go to a cafe or whatever, and you're like, uno tortilla, por favor. And they what they slam down in you is it's kind of like a frittata. It's like baked egg and potato. And it's like an inch tall, and it has like sometimes it has onion in it. And
excellent.
That is what a tortilla is. It's not a thing that you don't like, you can put stuff on it, but it's not, you don't like make a sandwich out of it or whatever. It's like an egg dish.
Do they have like a separate flatbread thing that gets served with food?
No, not really. No, like
Nope.
what we would consider like a flatbread. You could go to like kebab stores and get like falafel or hero sandwiches,
But
which
that's
come
not
with like
Spanish.
yeah, but that's not like a Spanish
Yeah.
thing. And the tortilla was like truly thing. And then lastly, of course, is the jamon. So you get those nice giant pig legs, cured meat. And the best, the jamon iberica, the black label jamon iberica is it's a special type of pig that's like part boar. And before they slaughter it, it's fed only acorns for 6 months, and that makes its like meat so tender and mouthwatering. And then they dry it out, and then they cut tiny slices off of the leg and then give it to you.
Wow.
And my mom smuggled some back to the United States.
Really? Oh shit!
Whoa.
They're like, you can't take ham on an airplane.
Absolutely
Don't do it.
not, Jeremy.
Dude,
and,
fucking narc over here.
Yeah, but
do you know how many people listen to this podcast?
Yeah, hundreds. but here we made it. It was funny because we got to the Dallas airport and my mom was like, "Okay, we're gonna go through customs," and then there was nothing. We
She's
just like
this is the last time I'll see you.
No, it was like we took our bags and we just threw them in the other conveyor belt and like no one looked through it or anything. The drug sniffing dogs weren't there. They didn't come after our jamon.
Man,
The
I should have done
sniffing
that.
dogs.
Yeah, jamon.
Specifically.
Un perro de jamon, if you will.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of octopus. That's a popular food item.
That makes sense.
Especially in a like potato kind of gravy that you get. Is very good.
Wow.
And then when you go to the south of Spain, and specifically in Granada, you get more of kind of an Islamic influence, a lot of like North African, Moroccan cuisine, because that had the strongest Islamic influence in that area. So that's where you start getting lots of kebabs and stuff like that. All very delightful, and so much wine and beer. You wake up at 10 a.m. and so it's like, do you want some wine? And I'm like, no, it's 10 in the morning.
It's day drinking for sure.
It's day drinking. It's day drinking and it's night drinking, because you like go to your you don't breakfast, not a thing. Like you can kind of find places that serve breakfast, but you just like get coffee and a croissant and that's your breakfast. And then you have your lunch is your first meal, and you have that like at noon or 1 p.m. and you drink there. And then you have dinner, and that's at like 8 or 9, and you drink there. And then you stay out till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and you best believe you're drinking the whole time.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty nuts. And I can't think of like a time in my recent life where I've drank more like in singular days than when I was in Spain, because it's like I just go somewhere and it's like, okay, here's your wine. And then it's like, okay, here's your Tinto de Verano, which is a wine with sparkling lemon juice in it.
Oh, yes.
Or a vermouth, or a beer, or a cava, which is like Spanish champagne. So I hope in the new Pokemon game you just get absolutely wasted at 10 a.m.
Jeremy, did you ever make it to Salmon Guru in Madrid?
I didn't have time.
It was like the coolest. It's apparently one of the best bars in the world, and they have like all of these crazy drinks and crazy like vessels. So the one drink that I got when I was there was Mario themed. It was inside of a piranha plant. Like,
oh shit!
It was like passion fruit flavored. It was amazing.
That sounds great.
But like their menu is like on your phone, and every drink is like scanned in 3D, so you can like see what it's gonna look like when you get there.
Yeah, the hotel where I actually recommended it, and guess where we stayed at in Madrid?
The Palace?
No, the Hard Rock Hotel, baby.
Oh,
That's
nice.
right.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. We only stayed there because my mom got travel miles there, and we didn't have to like pay for it.
Right.
And it was actually a great location. It was right across from the train station. But the concierge recommended that, and the only problem is it was quite a distance from there, so it'd be like a 30-minute walk kind of situation, and it's like away from where my brother lives. So that was the only problem. Yes, Ian.
Unless you have more to tell us about Spain, I found the thread that's gonna pull us back through LaCroix Boys into what this show actually is.
Okay, do it. Ben has European Burger King that he wants to tell us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I in our like couple week pause of like actively recording this show, I made point to bookmark this tweet because I thought it was really great. Someone posted like these screenshots of German Burger King and was like, "Can someone from Germany please explain this?" And I didn't see anyone in the comments actually explain it. Oh, no. Well, okay, so I saw basically what happened is there was a press release where they released a bunch of foods for Mother's Day for people who were pregnant and have like really weird cravings. So they have this weird like menu that has like combinations of strange things to eat while you're pregnant and want to go to Burger King. And such sandwiches include fried egg and banana, bratwurst and nut nougat cream, currywurst and brothering, which I don't even know what that is. It looks like a big fish. Fish sticks and applesauce, cucumber and jam, strawberry ice cream and fries, which actually sounds pretty good. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, in a sandwich, that sounds pretty good. Cream and pickles, which it actually looks like there's more than pickles. There's like raw onions and stuff in there too. Cake and beef, and then vanilla ice cream and olives.
Nice.
Cake and beef.
Yeah. I love cake and beef.
So yeah, that's what I thought of immediately. I kind of figured that was going to be a interesting intersection for this show because it really is like pushing the boundaries, right?
Yeah, Ben, you ruined my recipe. I was absolutely going to make cake and beef.
Right. Cake and beef sandwich.
Yes.
All right,
Ian,
what's the thread?
Yeah, pull
All
us
right.
back. Get us out of this pit that we've been in.
All right, we're all gonna grab hands and follow our way home. Last week had our like little band banquet at my middle school, which we call Coconut Grove, and it's tropical themed. And our steel drum band plays.
Nice.
And everyone's wearing like leis and stuff, and we got like.
Is this an organization that you, or is this something that you organized?
Oh hell
Yeah,
no!
welcome to Margaritaville Club.
Yeah.
It was very island time, and the boosters took care of all of it. And but they had like like non-alcoholic like mixed drinks that had little umbrellas in them and stuff.
Yeah, your Shirley Temples and what have you.
Virgin sex on the beach.
Here's the thing: they called them. They came up with their own names, so they had like Duke City Punch, and like but they had two drinks that were named after me and the other band director.
What was your drink?
Mine was the Dynamic Davis Sour. It was like
Dynamic Davis Sour.
It was a bright green kind of limeade sour with a maraschino cherry. It was pretty good.
Did it look like Shrek?
Yeah, it did.
You're like, this is my swamp.
Yes.
I was like sour. Like I wouldn't picture that for myself. And the other band director got like a sweet like blue Hawaiian coconut beverage. I was like, that sounds better than this. But I won't take it personally.
Well, I think when you make a sour beverage, it usually just has sour items like your lemons or whatever. Like,
did it have any LaCroix in it though?
Sorry to say, it was not sparkling.
Oh my god, they don't even know you. These kids don't know nothing about you.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. All right. Well, we like creating our own recipes here on I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. Each week, we randomly select a new Pokemon to cook and eat, and we discuss amongst ourselves who has the best recipe for us to enjoy. And then we vote in a very democratic manner about whose recipe is the most delicious and inspiring. I have no idea who won last time, but let's say who's going to start this week. This week's Pokemon also is Trubbish. Literal garbage.
Was the last one we did Kling Clang?
No,
or was it Durant?
It was Durant.
I think that was
Durant.
Evan then.
Was that me?
Evan, you won the Durant episode, Kevin Durant. So tell us what your recipe is this week.
All right. Well, this week we're cooking up a bag of trash.
Right.
And what reminded me about a bag of trash was a little cookie that I used to eat in college. Seattle U's the Bistro was very famous for their compost cookies. And Trubbish also kind of looks like a little compost bag.
Yeah.
And what might you find in that compost bag when you tear it up is some coffee grounds, some chocolate chips, I guess, because you're throwing those out. Some pretzels, some crushed up pretzels, and some potato chips.
Oh,
and maybe a little bit of nuts. Maybe you're finding some like almonds or some walnuts or pecans or whatever's kind of going on. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So these are like random, like bottom of the bag kind of items that you just like mush into basically a chocolate chip cookie, but it gives it a nice like crunch, gives it a nice little like salty flavor.
nice.
And they're best made with like stale kind of snack foods.
Wow.
So that's basically my recipe. Yeah, keeping it short and sweet because
Can you make it into a Trubbish shape?
You could. So like instead of like a nice like cookie dough ball, you just keep it in a scone lump.
Yeah, I was thinking like, would you like wrap it in a bag that looks like Trubbish, or would it be like just like like this is what the garbage looks on the inside?
Yeah, I'm gonna serve it to you in like a dog poop bag, like nice and tied up. Be like,
That could be like a nice like party favor kind of thing. Like you have all your guests come over and then
welcome to my trash party.
Yeah, have you ever had
someone cookies
prepare you that like a thing where it's like it looks like cat shit in a litter box, but it's like chocolate and like
can't say that I have.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
It looks like little cat poops and you eat them. And it's chocolate.
What kind of sadistic fuck would make such a thing?
Is it kind of like the gummy worms and the kind of vibe where you're like trying to make like a diorama with your food? Okay.
It's like the worms in mud or whatever, where it's like chocolate pudding and gummy worms.
This is really gross. I looked it up. I'm gonna turn it away.
It's actually just cat litter that you're looking at.
Yeah, it is just cat poop.
So maybe I missed it, but how are you using the Trubbish? Is it just
the Trubbish is literally you tear it open and you find these items inside.
Okay.
It's like recycled.
Yeah, Trubbish is basically your compost that comes to life.
Nice.
Right. Okay. I was wondering if we would get into this conversation because I know I was looking at Trubbish and thinking, similarly with the top on top of its head, that it kind of looked a little bit like Makukita.
Maybe a snack lunch?
And that there would be some ready-made food inside, perhaps.
No. These are scraps that you've thrown away.
Yeah.
Although when I first looked at a Trubbish, I did think like the little ears on top, it looked like someone like threw Pikachu in a garbage bag and like left him to die.
Well, I'm gonna join in the Trubbish discussion here.
Okay.
What is a Trubbish? No, but it's literal garbage. Let's be honest with ourselves.
True.
It's literal garbage. And I was thinking to myself, is there a recipe out there that is literal garbage? And the answer is yes. Because we're going to New York, baby, to get a delicious Dinah garbage plate.
Ah, fuck. We had the same one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had the... Oh, just go. Just go, okay? Jesus.
Well, but here in New York, you're going to make your Trubbish plate. That's what we call it.
I'll have you know that the garbage plate comes from upstate New York.
It does come from upstate New York, but I don't know that accent. Specifically, this recipe I'm looking at, it reminds us that it's from Rochester, so, which apparently is where the garbage plate was invented. So, traditional garbage plate, what it is you got like home fries, so kind of like potatoes. You've got macaroni salad, and then you've got like a meat topping of your choice, and maybe like a hot sauce. So it's gonna be a pretty easy variation what we're gonna do. So we're gonna keep the home fries. We're gonna keep the macaroni salad. We're gonna keep the hot sauce. But instead of just like ground meat, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some ground Trubbish, because what is Trubbish on the inside if not what the remnants of like a garbage disposal like? So it probably has ground meat already in there, if you know what I'm saying. So we're going to open up that Trubbish and his nice meaty innards, and we're going to pull them out, and then we're going to season them up nice and scrumdiddlyumptious. whatever you like to put in your burger seasoning, and we're gonna cook that up, and so it's nice and good. And then we're gonna get our French fries or macaroni salad. We're gonna put over our ground Trubbish on top. We're gonna put in some hot sauce. We're gonna put some onions, some ketchup, and some mustard. If to taste, all the the ketchup and mustard could be definitely if you want some on there, you can definitely, more or less is up to you. You can add some cheese if you want to, but that's not a traditional part of the meal. And you get some nice dried bread, so you can dip it in and pull it out, and it soaks in nice and deep, and makes it nice and sloppy and good. And I'm gonna eat it up at a diner at 3 a.m. Yeah, and that's my recipe, the Trubbish plate.
Nice.
Yeah, I was also looking at this Trubbish plate. I was talking to my sister Emma and my partner Asia, and they cited this Jenna Marbles video where they made a vegan version of the garbage plate. That was pretty fun. But yeah, basically it's potatoes, mac and cheese, meat sauce, and then a hot dog or a hamburger on top. And then you put ketchup and mustard all over it, and it's very it felt very fair food. I found this one article that said it's an example of American extreme cuisine, which surprised me.
Like the brutalism of cuisine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is this is the Marquis de Sade of cuisine here.
I have kind of a little bit of an aside, Ben, before you get. So I've heard New York in the summertime produces a certain smell. Can you confirm?
Yes, agree.
Okay.
You can hear that. You can just smell that garbage sizzling on the sidewalk. Ooh, baby, that's New York.
Not nice. I think that but like Jeremy was saying, this recipe comes from Rochester specifically.
Yes.
Or upstate New York, so it's a little bit more.
This garbage smells good.
Yes.
This garbage smells very fresh.
It's fresh as a daisy. This garbage.
Yeah, and from what I can tell, it originated from one specific restaurant in Rochester, and then it kind of got replicated, and people will put French fries in it, or bunch of cheese or whatever, all sorts of variations along the way, eggs and fish or whatever. So I was also thinking this, but I stumbled onto something, a little bit of a variation from Jeremy's recipe, or the way that you're using Trubbish, which, if I'm not mistaken, you're also assuming there's food inside the Trubbish that you're using.
Interesting. Well, funny how it's fine when Jeremy does.
Well,
the turns are tabled.
I'm saying that it has meat inside of it.
So wait, so you're saying that so if you're looking at Trubbish, it has the little garbage bag body.
Yeah, and then on the inside is it has
meat arms.
Yes. Inside of Trubbish's soft, shitty body is just meat.
Let the record show, it's not just meat inside, but ground beef.
Yeah.
Processed meat.
Prepared food, if you will.
It's Trubbish meat, not beef, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't know, Jeremy. It sounds awful convenient, almost too convenient to possibly be its own recipe.
It's not cooked. It's not cooked. You still have to cook it.
There's not a sandwich in there with the crusts cut off.
No.
God damn you all! I'm starting my own show.
So anyway, okay. So I was thinking about this because the thing that I wanted to find and kind of incorporate or bring to the table in this recipe, which I guess I'm not actually doing in the recipe itself, but I'm just bringing it to the table, is this idea that my sister shared with me called freeganism. Do you guys know about freeganism?
Yeah, it's where you eat everything for free, out of the garbage.
It's basically, well, I'll read you this description from freegan.info, which I think you'll find informative. Freegan is a term to mean someone who, based on an objection to capitalism and the exploitation it creates, finds ways to live outside the money economy by making use of wasted resources, discarded goods, abandoned buildings, vacant lots, etc. Which sounds like more into like squatting territory than like dietary restriction, but basically it's like dumpster diving. And apparently there's a lot of debate among vegans about whether freeganism is actually vegan, because sometimes people will eat like meat products that are in the garbage.
Oh no.
But hypothetically, if you're a vegan and like for political reasons, not for health reasons, like it shouldn't matter, right? Because either way, you're not contributing to like the meat dollar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, here's my
not
meat
spending
dollar.
any meat dollars anyway.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking about for this garbage plate is that obviously the most authentic Trubbish plate would be a freegan Trubbish plate. So you would kind of like scout out the best Trubbish bags that you would find, all the leftover like pasta salad and the French fries and the meat sauce. You would find all that stuff like in the Trubbish, and then kind of accumulate some resources and put it all on the same plate, all without spending any of that polka dollar, which is so precious. So I was thinking a way to kind of replicate that, though, is because, like once it's in the Trubbish bag, it kind of like collects some of that, it's just got a little special seasoning on the inside of the bag.
A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It sits in that garbage stew for a little bit. So you want to make it like as authentic as possible. So what I'm thinking is that you actually prepare all of these, kind of like sides. Really what it kind of sounds like to me, I've never had it before, but it kind of reminds me of like when you go to like a picnic or a potluck and you just end up getting like a bunch of random shit like on your plate, and then they all kind of mix together. That's kind of what I'm imagining is the experience here. So you need to make all your sides separately. So you make your mac pasta, you make your home fries, your fried diglet, as it were, your kind of tepig meat sauce, and then throw in like some Embor like hot dogs or like a milk tank hamburger, and then you put all of those kind of raw prepared materials inside the Trubbish bag. Give it a shake or two, make sure that it sits in that bag for a good, I'd say probably like a couple hours, just to make sure that it gets like some of that good stank on it. And then that's when you kind of serve it all up. It's all homogenized. It's all, kind of got, it's all mixed up. You just take a big spoonful of whatever mixture's in the bag, plop it on your plate. You got yourself a true Trubbish plate.
I like that it's served in the bag. Like you lay it out and it's scoop it from the bag directly.
Yeah, straight from the bag onto your paper plate.
Ben's opening his restaurant straight from the bag.
Yeah.
Yes, Ian.
Would you consider, instead of like spooning it out of the bag, you just cut like a tip of the bag off and use it like one of those like cake icing like bags, and you just kind of like
yeah.
That gets into like the
out.
fancy territory, because you can like make shapes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe
okay.
garbage
like
roses.
Trubbish.
Yeah.
You could do that and then make like a little Trubbish outline on your plate that looks like it.
Well, so is it all from inside the Trubbish? Is what you're saying?
Everything goes inside the Trubbish, gets a little, shaky, marinady, and then, and then it's straight from that onto the plate.
I don't know. That might make my potatoes a little soggy.
No, you want them soggy. You want it to soak up all that grease, all that ketchup and mustard and mac salad. You want it all those flavors.
It's a homogenized like loaf.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Trubbish loaf here at Ben's Trubbish Loaf Emporium.
So I guess it's a little bit of a different method, but it's kind of the same recipe, unfortunately.
It's okay. Great minds think alike. That's what I say.
Apparently.
Ian, what's your recipe?
Well, it's interesting because I too was investigating the freegans.
Oh, okay.
Wow, it's like a train.
Yeah. It sure is.
This is kind of like one of those novels where like all the characters never meet each other, but they only meet one other person who knows the other person. Like there's like one mutual friend who's like bouncing between each one.
The 6 degrees of trash.
Yeah.
I found this interview, and the person is interviewing a freakin', right, about their lifestyle. And interviewer says, I just can't get over how normal you seem. I don't mean to patronize you at all.
Say to somebody.
But you just don't seem like that kind of person. If I saw you rooting around a dumpster, I don't know. I would stop and stare. Freaking. Would you? And that's actually good because that's part of the theater of it. You know?
Oh no.
That's part of the theater of it.
I've got to put on a performance.
Interviewer, but not in a good way. I wouldn't stop and stare. I would stop and stare like, that woman must be deranged. She looks so nice. Why is she in a dumpster? Freakin' says, you know what I'd do at that point? I'd look at you and I'd say, would you like some of this? We got prepackaged lox here, and there are some bagels.
Well, so some people would say that person's not a real vegan.
Okay, but I'm just gonna say that like, if you're going dumpster diving, you just take what you get. If I'm freaking and I get a nice thing of prepackaged lox that aren't open, I'm fucking celebrating, baby.
Oh, you better.
Oh yeah.
I'm busting out the nice paper plates.
All about the theater of it, which I do appreciate. I think that's what this show is about.
Just for the theater.
I mean, there's a lot of theater in this show.
Yes.
I would actually say it's like 80% of the show.
Well, it's very Brechtian though, because it's like a torture to the audience.
God damn it. So what I'm proposing here is rather than barbarically cutting open the Trubbish and harvesting its organs, you befriend the Trubbish.
Okay.
You work alongside because the Trubbish is not unlike us. Are we nothing but just piles of fucking garbage?
What are you, the Joker?
Yeah. Imagine you're walking down the street, you see
that
someone rooting in a garbage can, and you're like, "Who's that?" And then it's the Joker, and he's like, "We live in a society," and then he like eats the garbage he finds.
This is literally that SNL sketch of the Joker, but Oscar the Grouch.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
You did say Oscar the Grouch.
You were Oscar the Grouch.
Wow.
But you just become trash.
So this is an instance where we're gonna actually the Pokemon's gonna help us out with the meal preparation, because in the Pokemon world there's still trash, right? There's still waste.
Sure.
And it's not all Trubbish. So you befriend the Trubbish. The Trubbish helps. He knows where all the good fucking digs are in the city. Okay. You don't have to waste your time looking through the Whole Foods dumpster trying to find something. The Trubbish is like, no, man, this one's already been picked over. Like, come with it. He's like a fucking Sherlock Holmes mixed with sight.
The dumpster.
Of the dumpster. Yeah.
Right.
Well, so if you're a Sherlock Holmes, can you be a Baker Street irregular where it's like, oh, Gov, I found some clues for you in the garbage?
Exactly. It's like, so the Trubbish is going to help you make a everything but the kitchen sink breakfast.
Ooh.
You're going to, this is what he finds for you. You get some chorizo. You get some onion, garlic, bell pepper, spinach, eggs, potatoes, cheddar cheese, all that good shit. And I'm not going to
everything you'd normally have in your kitchen sink.
Yes.
It's a turn of phrase.
Yeah, this is a metaphor.
See, all right, pause, hard stop. This is what I'm fucking talking about. You guys say like the most ridiculous shit, and I'm just nodding yes and. I come here with gold. I'm fucking like, I got some gold spiders spinning web here. And you guys are like, well, I don't actually think that's how that works.
Ian, I will agree that sometimes we're a little combative here on I Choose You, but you do frequently win.
That's not fucking true this season. That's
not this season.
True, Jeremy.
Not falling for his bullshit this season.
I will admit that we are combative, but I would say again, it's mostly theater, you know.
Yes.
Brechtian theater to torture the audience.
Yes.
It's a fucking battlefield. That's what this is. Fucking Saving Private Ryan every week. I don't need to tell you how to make a fucking casserole. Okay? You mix it all together, you stick it in at 375, you have a delicious breakfast.
Oh, it's a breakfast casserole.
Yeah.
I was also thinking something along these lines. I feel like garbage gets thrown around as a adjective in food when it just means like everything you could possibly think could be in a burrito or like a casserole or burger or whatever. Like we're just gonna put it all together in one thing, which I guess was where all our heads were at with the cookie and the garbage plate and casserole.
It ends up being delicious.
Yeah. People say garbage, but they really mean what? Ben, think about it's an important saying in our culture. One man's trash is another man's delicious Pokemon dinner.
It's true.
But let's review our recipes. From Evan, we have the Trubbish compost cookies. From me, we have the Trubbish plate. From Ben, you have the Freegan Trubbish plate as well. From Ian, you have the Trubbish casserole. So let's vote for the winner mon this week. Ben, do you know who the winner is?
I do know who the winner is, and I can guarantee someone's going to be pretty happy about this one, especially after the episode that has transpired. It's Ian Davis, your boy.
Oh,
with 3 whole votes, a full sweep.
That's good because I had my letter of resignation right here.
Did you just
in his
lift
contract
up a can
specifies a
of
number of wins?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for voting, everybody. Now let's move on to the next part of the show. It's called Whale Lord's Mail Horde. It's where we read your correspondence sent in to ichoosepod@gmail.com. It's ichewspod@gmail.com. No new emails this week, so keep an eye on that. But we do have some social media correspondence. Ben, can you read this tweet thread from Pokemaniac Chris?
I can. Pokemaniac Chris writes at iChoosePod. So, Trubbish. This is not going to be gourmet shit. You know that, right? It's an ambulatory trash bag. Still, I regret to report that people in central Unova do sometimes eat Trubbish when they're desperate and crazy and stupid. Which describes all of us, I think.
Yes.
The thing about Trubbish is that it can eat random debris and gradually break it down and absorb it into its body. Wood, paper, plastic, glass, metal, bone, rotting food, battery acid. It's all good. By which I mean it's all horrible, but Trubbish loves eating horrible things. So, even with no actual food around, a Trubbish can survive by scavenging junk, and you can survive in a dystopian urban hellscape by eating Trubbish. Its flesh is rubbery, has a metallic tang, sometimes contains shards of glass, and gives off noxious fumes when you cook it. Still, it is technically edible, in the sense that you won't immediately die and will feel less hungry for a while. If you keep eating Trubbish for an extended period, though, it puts you at risk of heavy metal poisoning, salmonella, botulism, several other unique parasites, and scurvy.
Yeah.
If you survive all that, your body may begin to adapt. This might be even worse because it basically means you'll be gradually evolving into a Trubbish. You are what you eat. Keep track by regularly drinking pure LaCroix. If the can starts to look tastier than the drink, it's time to switch diets.
I feel like Grimer and Muck, they're pretty like 1980s trash Pokemon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when like you just had like smog and like everything was bad in the city. And that seems like I feel like if you could track Trubbish through the years, they're kind of describing like a 80s Trubbish. We kind of had like more of like a modern day Trader Joe's.
Artisanal Trubbish.
Yeah.
It reminded me of something that I found on the Bulbapedia page, actually, when it talked about kind of metal poisoning and the noxious fumes or whatever. There's a thing on Bulbapedia for Trubbish that talks about Trubbish emits noxious burp-like gases, which, when inhaled, will render the victim bedridden for a week. This gas can also prove fatal when inhaled by young Pokemon and children.
Oh.
Which I don't think that seems like that
children.
should be bold text for Trubbish. Like,
Yes.
it can kill you, literally. Small children.
Fatal for child.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to read a Discord message from Elijah. Elijah writes in and says, cooking this week's Pokemon might seem like a daunting task, but I realized the solution immediately. Well, our listeners are smarter than we are, because I, Psychic Elijah, the buddy elf of the show, am making bubblegum spaghetti. If you look at the pieces of our trashy boy, you can see little pink splotches everywhere, and I'm presupposing those are old pieces of bubblegum. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Am I right? Pick off all these pieces of bubblegum and mush them together, then make out the trusty rolling pin and flatten that sucker. Put the bubblegum through your clink clank pasta machine. You now have delicious old bubblegum a la the classic Christmas movie Elf. Maybe put some sour sugar from the Sour Patch Kids or serve it plain. Or maybe with a bolognese sauce. That would probably be bad. I've been Psychic Elijah, and you've been a great audience. Good night. This is Type 5, apparently.
Yeah, I love the time of I love the idea of like writing an email or a message and being like, "That's my time, gotta go."
All right, thanks for writing in. Now's the time of the show where we pick next week's Pokemon. It's a segment I like to call Pick-a-mon. Evan, can you generate a number between 494 and 649?
I can indeed, and next week's Pokemon will be 630.
630? That's a time. I guess they're all times. We already did 630, so we need a different one.
566.
566, you say. 566. I've got to scroll. We did an evolution of this one, so give us another.
Oh my gosh, 599.
599. Well, we're getting towards the end of the season. This always happens. 599 is also it evolved into Clink Clay. We need another one.
542.
542, you say. Hopefully this one, we can go with this one. Oh boy. We can do this one. All right. Next week's Pokemon is about Leavanny, the nurturing Pokemon. It's like a it's a bug and it's a plant. It's a bug plant. I'll throw the picture and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I think it kind of looks like a person.
Yes, it looks very much like a person.
Yeah. Okay. I know this. Like
a praying mantis person bug.
Yes. Yeah. So send in your best Leavanny recipes for the show. And check it out. All right. Now it's final section. Plugs. Tell us about it. What's your shit?
You can follow me at Ian Reynolds Photo on Instagram. That is my budding wedding photography business. Go check it out. I got some new photos up. More to come soon. Booking for 2023 and beyond. Hit me up.
Oh,
prices are good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you say, Ian, I don't live in New Mexico. I'll tell you, listen, I choose you special right here.
Ooh.
You pay for my flight. You give me a place to stay. I'll do your wedding.
And he'll even sign your I Choose You merch.
And I'll sign your I Choose You merch. That's a deal. You know how much your wedding photographer is. Buy me a $600 plane ticket. I'll come fucking shoot your shit. All right? At Ian Reynolds Photo. Do it.
All right, Ben.
You can follow me on Twitter at Ben C. Montoya. I'm still playing through Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. I haven't really been posting anything like actually about me in a while, but you can still follow me, and I'll probably follow you back if I think you listen to this show. So
if I think you deserve it.
All right.
Exactly.
And you can also follow me on Twitter at @E_Van Aubrey.
You can also follow me on Twitter at VelocityPrime1. You can see the picture of the bird that was stalking me at work today. Where I was at work just walking around my office and I noticed that there was a raven like pecking at a window. And
tapping on your chamber door.
And it was like Evermore. And I was like, oh shit. And then I took a picture of it. And I went and did something else, and I came back and an hour later and it was still there. And I was like, oh man, that's a little spooky. And then I left and then I forgot about it until came on and saw people like it on Twitter. So that's what Twitter's like for me. I'm getting molested by birds. So that's at Velocity Prime 1. Also check out the-avocado.org for all my previous writing, the-avocado.org. And this has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can find us on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. If you like our show, make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, make sure to check out our social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our still newish TikTok account, where you can see our beautiful, bright, shining faces tell you hilarious jokes about our theater, Brechtian theater, if you will. All that on our social media pages. More I Choose You goodness can be found on the Discord. Links are in the episode description and on our social media pages. It's fun, good time. We'll see about setting up another community event soonish, just so we can get going. Lastly, but not leastly, is our official website, ichooseyou.menu. Designed by Evan Aubrey, ichooseyou.menu has a full episode archive and a merch store where you can purchase such things as aprons, pins, and stickers. All that can be found on ichooseyou.menu. I think that covers everything. Ben, did you want to say something?
We're reviving the sponsor segment. We're looking for sponsors.
Yes.
So if you have any good Pokemon sponsorships that you would like us to have, send them our way, I guess.
Imagine you're in the world of Pokemon and you see an advertisement. What would that be like? Send in your hottest concepts to ichoosepod@gmail.com or our Twitter or Discord, whatever. Just throw it out there, and we'll see if we can work it into a hilarious clip, like we did previously. Like we did it for like 10 episodes, and everyone loved it. Then we stopped. So yeah, I think that covers it. So for I Choose You, I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zielik.
I've been your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
I've been your garbage grouch, Ian Davis.
And Evan Aubrey.
To all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
It's always hard when the recipe's new.
Make a presupposition or just make a stew.
But there's no month that we can't cook. So turn up the volume, put down that book.
It's season 5.
Let the pan sage roast.
Keep Vanillux alive.
Make some tepid toast.
So crack a cold one, now's the time.
We're cooking Pokemon and making rhymes. We're not always right or wrong, but you'll probably have some fun. It's win or lose based on the jokes you choose. The winners within. It's a podcast called I Choose You. Ben, Evan, Jeremy, and Ian too. Let the cooking begin.